Boston Dynamics has been sold twice in just 7 years by Google and SoftBank, even though every new release is a guaranteed viral moment. So what was actually going on behind the scenes? And how did Boston Dynamics make a comeback to finally build something people want to buy? To understand that, we have to go back to where it all started, a mechanical mule called Big Dog. It could climb in the woods, recover its balance when kicked, stay upright on ice, and the later version LS3 can carry 400 pounds of payload and follow a human leader using onboard sensors. For its time, it was really impressive, but also deeply impractical. The thing sounded like a motorcycle. In a combat zone, that kind of noise will give away your position every single time. And surprisingly, it was even dumber than an actual mule. Troops couldn't hold a normal conversation near the thing because it would pick up and follow commands not meant for it at all. That tells you why the project failed. But how did the company building loud mechanical mules end up creating Atlas, one of the best humanoid robots ever made? The answer comes from somewhere completely unexpected. In 2011, an earthquake and tsunami hit Japan's Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. As the crisis unfolded, engineers realized they need to send something into the reactor buildings to shut off valves and assess the damage. But there was no robot capable of doing that. The technology just didn't exist. DARPA responded by launching a robotics challenge in 2012, essentially asking the industry to build what was missing. Boston Dynamics, by now very comfortable winning military contracts, took on the task of building a robot platform that competing teams could use. And that platform was Atlas. The original Atlas looked nothing like the parkour machine the internet will eventually lose their mind over. But the team saw the potential. Over the following years, they shaved the weight down by nearly half and packed expensive hydraulic actuators into the frame to give it real strength. By the end of the process, Atlas could navigate rough terrain, manipulate heavy objects, and yes, do parkour. It was the most dynamic humanoid robot in the world, but it was also $1 to $2 million per unit to build. That price tag would become a serious problem, but we'll get to that. For now, Boston Dynamics has become the golden standard in robotics. And in 2013, something happened that looked, at least on paper, like the opportunity of a lifetime. Google acquired them. This was Google at peak ambition. The self-flying delivery system, floating internet balloons, and genuine moonshot thinking. Mark Rebirth, Boston Dynamics founder, was openly excited. He talked about Google can think very, very big, with the resources to make it happen. It seemed like a perfect match. A visionary robotics lab finally paired with a company that could fund the future. However, it turned out Google only held Boston Dynamics for 4 years before selling it to someone else. The problem was visible in a leaked internal meeting from 2015. Jonathan Rosenberg, who was leading Boston Dynamics under Google at the time, told the team, "We as a startup of our size cannot spend 30+% of our resources on things that take 10 years. And there it was, the fundamental mismatch. Rebirth is by nature a dreamer and a contrarian. The Hawaiian shirts he wears everywhere is basically a personal statement. He has always been in the business of solving the grand challenges of robotics, however long that takes. Google, for always moonshot branding, was still a corporation that needed real revenue within 3 to 5 year window, and Atlas wasn't even close. At $1 to $2 million per unit, a single robot costs the equivalent of having 25 to 50 logistic workers. No company was going to justify that. On top of everything, to protect the brand image of Google, Boston Dynamics also stopped taking military contracts, which cut off the most reliable revenue stream. The whole operation for Google was just a line on balance sheet, burning cash. But there was still hope to turn things around. Where Google saw a dead end, SoftBank saw the future. By 2017, SoftBank was rewriting the rules for tech investing, fueled by the launch of its $100 billion vision fund. To SoftBank, Boston Dynamics was a missing piece in the massive robotics empire he was building. And for Rebirth, it meant escaping short-term revenue pressure and get what felt like unlimited patient capital. Then WeWork happened. The attempt to take WeWork public blew an $18 billion hole in the VC fund almost overnight. Suddenly, a robotics lab that was still burning cash doing backflips was the last thing SoftBank needed. So in 2020, Boston Dynamics got sold again, this time to Hyundai. 3 owners in 7 years. Most companies don't survive that kind of instability. But something interesting had been quietly happening in the background. Even through the chaos of Google and SoftBank years, Boston Dynamics had been slowly trying to figure out how to make money. And instead of starting with Atlas, they started with Spot, the 4-legged robot that most people recognize from videos of it opening doors. Spot had the same problem as Atlas in the beginning. Impressive technology, no real product. So that a lot of companies will buy one Spot out of curiosity, but to build an actual business, you need repeat customers. You need them to actually use it. So Boston Dynamics did something really smart here. They launched a leasing program, shipping beta versions of Spot to partners across different industries, and simply watching what people were doing with them. What they discovered was that Spot could navigate staircases, tight corridors, and complex environments that wheeled robots could not touch. That made it nearly perfect for industrial inspection. The use case basically found itself. And looking ahead, the explosive global demand for AI data centers is only going to accelerate that further. Around the same time, Boston Dynamics was developing Stretch, a robot built for warehouse logistics. Although it took 5 years, but Stretch was also commercialized in 2022. All the painful lessons along the way fed directly into their most important product, Atlas. In 2024, Boston Dynamics posted a video called Farewell to HD Atlas. The hydraulic era was officially over. The very next day, they announced the all-new Atlas. When you first saw the new Atlas, the design looked so weird. But once you understand the thinking, it all sort of makes sense. Before we get to the last part, if you're into robotics and tech, this is pretty much what this channel is about, so subscribe if you want to see more. Going back to the design of Atlas, the 360-degree rotating joints came directly from lessons learned building Stretch. The robot is also built to handle heavy payloads for real industrial work. With a battery pack, the Atlas can swap automatically every 4 hours. And then there's a head, which doesn't look human at all, but that's actually on purpose. The team spent real time thinking about what kind of presence would make human workers comfortable. The answer they landed on was actually the Pixar lamp. That's friendly, expressive, clearly not trying to pass as a person to avoid the uncanny valley. The price target is the biggest signal of all. Boston Dynamics hasn't officially put Atlas on sale yet, but they're aiming to be lower than the cost of 2 years' salary of a US manufacturing worker. Shortly after the reveal of the new Atlas, Google announced a new partnership with Boston Dynamics again, a full circle almost 10 years later. It's really fascinating to see Boston Dynamics, after 30 years in robotics, is finally being practical and starting delivering real commercial products. But do you think we get a better version of Boston Dynamics with this new focus? Or do you miss the time when they still have room for pure innovation? Let me know in the comments. If you want to see what's happening with humanoids in China, I have another video here for you. Please share with anyone who will be interested, and I'll see you in the next one.